Live from the SoCap Comedy Theater in beautiful downtown Toronto, it's And the Scotch Eggs Comedy Game Showdown. And please welcome your host, Dan Donnelly.
Hello, and welcome to Comedy Game Showdown. I'll be your host, Dan Donnelly. If you're listening to the podcast version of the show, be aware that you can see all of the pictures that we're looking at on our website, andascotchegg.com/podcast, or on the YouTube version of the show, which is linked below. All right, are you guys ready to get your show started? Woo! Excellent! Our theme this month is Nintendo Power. It is a video game themed show, which should be fun. I have always played video games myself. I'm kind of a JRPG fan. JRPGs get a lot of shit for various reasons. People say that they're all just a bunch of teenagers getting together to save the world from ultimate evil, but that's not true. There are also a group of teenagers with a couple of hoary old 25-year-olds banding together to save the world from ultimate evil. Or there's a group of high school students studying at Magical Harry Potter Wizard Academy who band together to save the world from ultimate evil. Or there's a group of high school students at Fantasy Military Academy who band together to save the world from ultimate evil. Or there's a group of normal Japanese high school students who band together to investigate a murder and save the world from ultimate evil. So really, there's a lot of diversity in the genre.
That game is awesome.
Persona 4 is a great game. I agree. Persona 5 is not better.
Fuck you.
All right. Another thing that I got into during the pandemic is I started playing strategy games again. I'm a big Europa Universalis fan. I don't know if anybody's familiar.
Crusader Kings is better.
People think that Paradox games are kind of just spreadsheets with graphics, which I think kind of undersells them. Because you have to remember that they're about reenacting colonialism. So it's really racist spreadsheets with graphics. It's a lot of fun, actually. I like to play as Portugal because it's fairly easy. The game kind of tricks you into doing things. You know, you're going along doing your normal thing, and then all of a sudden the game's like, hey, Portugal, we see you discovered some tropical islands with good fishing resources. Maybe you should send some fishermen over there. Okay, sounds good. Hey, Portugal, it seems like you got some fish, but oops, it looks like your fishermen want to grow sugar now. That seems like it'll make a tidy profit. Gee, there seems to be a labor shortage on your sugar plantations now. I wonder if we could find anybody who'd be willing to help you out. You know where I bet we could get a great deal on labor? And then suddenly you've spent 200 years perpetuating one of history's greatest atrocities. It's horrible, but reducing everything to lines on a ledger really kind of gets you this insight into the banality of evil. I mean, sure, forcibly converting the entire population of a country is objectively evil, but it does give you a minus 2% modifier for monthly revolt risk. And I have to say, sometimes that's worth it. I mean, you're already busy fighting France and their dynastic claim on Naples, so what the hell? Jesus for everybody, right? Yeah. That didn't get any applause. All right, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to get the show started? For real?
Yeah.
Well, just kidding. We have a brief word from our sponsor.
You bastard.
Esports.
That's me.
Are you looking for all the fun, excitement, and camaraderie of traditional team sports, but without actually having to get up or take a shower? Then esports might be for you. With esports, you can finally go from being that weird loser outcast who wastes 18 hours every day obsessively playing and replaying the same game on the computer in your mom's basement and peeing in empty monster cans because you're too lazy to get up, to a dedicated, respected, and most importantly, highly remunerated athlete who spends 18 hours every day on an impossibly rigorous training regimen, peeing in empty monster cans because you're too disciplined to lose even a second of potential training. You hear that, Mom? But the rewards of esports aren't just for the players. As a dedicated esports fan, you too can share in the excitement by waking up at 3:30 a.m. on a Tuesday morning to watch the live feed of the League of Legends World Championships, kind of like soccer fans do for the World Cup, except no one will think it's charming that you get drunk in a public place. And if the constant inane chatter of the self-consciously hip-looking, dead-eyed millennial commentators isn't reward enough in itself, you can rest assured knowing that in just a few short hours, you'll get to see 5 20-something Chinese boys totally lose their shit like toddlers who missed their nap time. Esports. If target shooting can be in the Olympics, what the hell? Why not this? Esports. All right, guys, now we really are going to get the game started for real. Let me bring up your... Don't believe me. We're going to bring up your 2 teams of contestants. First, Umbrella Corporation. Please welcome Ross Hammond. DK Phan. And George Burgess. And up against Umbrella Corporation, their mortal enemies, the Smash Bros. Please welcome Sebastian D. Chow. Will Noye. And Simon Rakoff. All right, guys, are you all situated?
Yes.
All right. Are you in the audience already? All right, we're going to get the game started with a pop quiz. Our first question, the category is plunging right in. In the original Super Mario Bros., erstwhile plumber Mario traverses 8 worlds and 32 levels to rescue Princess Peach from Bowser's castle. What does she give him in return? Sebastian.
A link to her OnlyFans account.
Where, oddly enough, she's also known as Princess Peach. That's convenient. It's just an emoji.
Ooh.
Yes,
Restraining
DK.
order, because Bowser's castle is actually witness protection for Princess.
Yeah. That would explain why she's always going over. She hiding out from Mario. Actually, Luigi is probably the gangster in that operation, don't we think? Yes, George.
An actual Peach. He misunderstood her text.
So the real answer is nothing. Mario gets nothing in return.
Ah, yes. No, I was married to Princess Peach then. Yeah.
You were excellent.
What Mario actually gets is being part of a throuple with a rescue fetish.
Yeah. No, he did get a fungal infection, though, apparently. She was still Princess Toadstool back then. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. The category is New Raccoon City. Our very own city of Toronto was introduced as a playable stage in the most recent edition of what game? Yes, Will.
That would be Condo Building Simulator 2023.
Yeah. Sebastian.
Super Ford Brothers 2?
Super Ford Brothers.
2?
It was actually originally released in Japan as Dougie Dougie Panic. I don't know if you knew that. Yes, George.
Grand Theft Healthcare.
Oh, no.
Privatized edition, everything is DLC.
Oh, no.
Yes, we're adapting the EA model to healthcare. Very nice.
Yes, Ross.
Grand Theft Auto GTA, we are running out of big cities to parody.
I don't think they'll ever settle for Toronto, do you?
Oh, that would explain the whole Young Street thing, right? When that guy ran... Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Not a game or in real life. I mean, that guy set a high score for sure, probably.
He's definitely someone who played GTA. We can probably be sure of that. Yeah, Simon.
Car share auto. You know, you just rent your time and act like a normal person.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the game, but I've been playing Sons of the Forest, and I have seen those same dudes on the streets of Toronto. That's it right there.
Oh, I think that in that game, you carjack an Uber, and then you just have to drive the guy's Uber.
Please cancel my fare, please. No, I'm getting you to Pearson.
All right. Thanks, guys. The real answer is, of course, GTA 6, indeed, but the 6 is spelled with the number 6.
Hey!
Wait, really?
No. It's Overwatch. Overwatch.
Oh, yeah.
That's why everyone's so angry.
All right, moving on to the next question. The category is Soviet bloc. In the mathematical field of topology, what are Tetris blocks called? Yes, George.
I actually know a little bit of topology, and they're called Tetris blocks.
Mathematicians famously literal. Yes, Will.
I don't know. Like for me, I either call them blocky boys or you little fuckers, depending on how good I'm doing in the game.
I wish I could just make you disappear. Sebastian.
They're Russian commie blocks.
With like a backwards R for extra communism.
Yeah. Does that mean Toys R Us was communist?
They did both rely on a lot of forced labor in Asia, so probably.
The giraffe was wearing a red sweater.
Oh. Did he really, or is that only for Christmas? Which is banned. No Christmas in communist country. Yes, Ross.
If you were to believe my mother, the Tetris blocks were called Pokemon Legos.
That's really cute. I think I'm going to pick that one up.
Oh, my dad hated when he stepped on them. It was awful.
Oh, yeah. Anybody else? Okay, the real answer is tetrominos. Tetrominos.
That's made up for sure.
Somebody did make it up.
Just like math and Russians.
All right, we're going to move on to the next question. The category is indictably offensive. Speaking of Grand Theft Auto, what is the setting of the original GTA from 1997? Simon.
The parking lot at Fairview Mall.
Very local reference. DK.
Brampton, because everyone drives like shit. Like they own a BMW, but actually drive a Corolla.
Ross.
A fictional United States where you could find guns literally anywhere. Like, it was nuts, man.
Ross, I have some bad news for you.
Oh.
Come see me after the show with your passport and a Kevlar bodysuit, and we can have a talk.
Oh, no.
I mean, if you lived in Brampton, you would probably want guns everywhere.
I didn't want to learn anything on this show.
Oh, no. We have succeeded in our mission to be educational. That's the death knell. All right, anybody else? Okay. The real answer is Liberty City, which is a fake New York City. Later games would, of course, take place in fake LA, fake Miami, and then when they added the hot coffee mod, fake Seattle. I think that's what that was. It was something like that. Something fake about it anyway. Let's move on to the next question. The category is Nihongo no Tango. Kaizo Mario World, which is short for Jisaku no Kaizo Mario, Super Mario World o Yujin ni Play Saseru, also called Asshole Mario, is a series of notoriously difficult ROM hacks of Super Mario World for the SNES. What does the Japanese word kaizo literally mean? Yes, George.
I don't know. But I also didn't know that some people find those games difficult.
Oh. Wow. And here I thought asshole was referring to the game. Yes, Will.
Is it incel? It's incel, isn't it?
I think it must be.
Right? Mario's just not a high-value man. She's going after Bowser. He's got frame and game or whatever bullshit.
He's also got a castle, which is way more than Mario.
And he's over 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
True.
girls only want guys who have 66 coins, are on World 6.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, Mario lives with his brother. I mean, who's going to want to do that?
They live in a
they
mansion.
really-
It's not that bad.
Are they really brothers? All right. Ross.
Kaizo means a one-sided relationship. Seriously, I see Mario putting in all of the effort in this, and Peach is doing absolutely nothing. Nowhere to be found. Guy needs to get into therapy. All right?
Yeah, I agree.
It's called a relationship, buddy.
Oh, that's sad.
That's very sad.
Oh, Dan, I wanted us to say it together.
All right. Thanks, guys. Anybody else? Okay. Kaizo means rearranged. Rearranged. We have succeeded in our educational mandate. Moving on to the next question. The category is Road Warriors. First introduced in Street Fighter II, the design of the screaming martial artist Fei Long was based on what real-world person? Yes, Simon.
The Mandarin buffet manager when you have more than 5 plates.
Is that even possible?
It is for Simon.
Yeah. George?
Shelley Long.
Shelley Long? Which one is based on Ted Danson?
Guile, obviously.
Guile? Ross.
Alec Baldwin on that phone call to his daughter.
Oh, no.
Or Alec Baldwin on that one film set. I can't quite remember. I didn't say which film set.
No, it could have been, the one with the brass balls. Yes, Sebastian.
The Believe guy in Young Dundas Square?
Ross.
It was Glengarry Glen Ross you were thinking
Glengarry
of.
Glen Ross.
By David Mamet.
Thank you, David Mamet.
Not funny, just factual.
Yeah, well, it's important
I need the leads. I need the Glengarry leads.
that we live up to our educational mandate. All right. Yes, Will.
Based on that dude who was a presidential candidate that lost his shit whenever he said, we're going to Florida and South Dakota. Kia!
Howard
That guy.
Dean.
Howard Dean.
Was
Look it up.
was assassinated by the media. The mainstream media did not want him to win because he was the only anti-war candidate in that election against the Iraq War.
Are we
I
still
don't-
fucking learning here?
Yes,
I was just really hopeful you were going to say actually assassinated.
We've
That was going to
moved-
get so interesting.
we've moved from learning to preaching.
American mainstream media famously moonlights as 4-star generals, so that
Yes.
makes sense.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thanks, guys. The real answer is Bruce Lee.
Which
Yes.
is both a person and an adverb.
That's true.
Yeah, how did you beat him up? Bruce Lee, that's how.
That's very good.
Well, that's why I waited.
Yeah. Moving on to the next question. The category is Crossing the Streamers. On September 1st, 2021, many Twitch streamers participated in #ADayOffTwitch. For what reason? George.
They were on Rogers.
Oh. That was a different day. But my Twitch stream was interrupted.
That's like every day with Roger.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Yes, DK.
They all had to go to a wedding. Not the same wedding. That'd be weird. I guess different weddings. Do
Different
they-
weddings.
That's a bullshit answer. Twitch
Yeah.
streamers don't have friends. We all know this. Why would they ever go to a Simp's wedding? Come on.
Ross.
They were striking to go down to a 200-hour work week.
You know there are only 168 hours in a week.
You can tell that to Jeffrey Bezos, all right?
Simon.
Their moms needed the internet.
Oh, we're still in the dial-up days.
Your father needs to make an overseas call, Henry.
Imagine dial-up Twitch. It's just
Welcome back to 240p, everybody.
It's ASCII graphics of the game going on, and then the person is just describing what they're doing.
The person is an animation from like stickfights.com.
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget to EMT Simon's payment to Simon Rakoff at AOL.com.
Yes.
Hey, man, just because his ICQ number was 7 doesn't mean you get to disrespect him like this.
Oh man, ICQ. That was great.
Without me, there'd be no internet.
Simon Rakoff in the role of Al Gore. All right, thanks, guys.
Oh, we offended him again.
Yes.
Their 30-day AOL trials all expired, and they had to go pick up more CDs.
We're just
Excellent.
going back and back.
Excellent.
Further.
More old internet jokes.
Thank you, guys. You can listen to the internet-themed episode of our show in our back catalog.
Bro, wait until we get into FTP. It's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, it's amazing. And it's actually not in our... Oh, it will be in our back catalog by the time this comes out.
Sorry for having fun, Dan.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. The real reason was unfortunately sad. It was an increase in hate raids, where people would mob people's streams with unpleasant things. All right. Thanks, everybody. And that was it for the first pop quiz. Congratulations.
What a
Was that
bummer it
because
ended
we're having
on.
too much fun?
We're going to move on to the next section of our game, which is Meet Your Contestants, where we talk a little bit with our contestants, and you guys can find out a little bit about them. First up, representing Umbrella Corporation, Ross Hammond is the default face of every character creator before you play God and warp him into some twisted monstrosity. He's also the third-party controller version of a more famous straight white male comedian. A mad cat's John Mulaney, if you will. That hits a little different now with John Mulaney.
It's still applicable.
It's still applicable. Excellent.
What have you done?
Madcap's got a business.
I hope so.
Ross, first player or second player?
Oh, I'm second player all the way. I'm no leader.
Oh,
I'm also bad at most video games now. I'm in my 30s.
yeah. All right, thank you. Please give it up for Ross Hammond, everybody. Next up, with the nefarious Umbrella Corporation, years of playing League of Legends has turned DK Phan into a toxic monstrosity that believes if something went wrong, it's everyone else's fault.
This whole show.
You get a little tired of carrying them sometimes, don't
Just uninstall.
you? DK, what does DK stand for?
Ooh, good question. DK stands for honor, respect, justice, a good work ethic. That's what DK stands for. But thank you for asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting Donkey Kong, because being a Donkey Kong fan would be appropriate for this show.
Oh, you're getting reported.
All right.
Did anybody else hear Donkey Kong fan?
Call
No,
that
you-
a subversion of expectations,
That's
Dan.
the Tijuana themed episode of this show.
Listen, if you make me mad, I'll steal your girlfriend and throw barrels at you.
All right. Thank you.
I think DK is just too ashamed to tell us all it's Daniel Kevin fan.
Oh no.
It's Drift King from Too Fast, Too Furious, okay?
All right. Thank you guys. Please give it up for DK Phan.
This is going to be the record for most horns in an episode.
Yeah. And last up among Umbrella Corporation's tyrannical board, George Burgess visited the Mushroom Kingdom several times in high school and has +3 charisma. This winter, he finally beat Super Metroid by emulating it on his quite beefy PC using RetroArch, which was streamed to his NVIDIA Shield 16 gig via Streamlink using an 8-bit-DOE SNES Pro controller.
You can get
Line forms to the left, if you're interested. George, how do you do?
I do very well. Feel free to ask around.
I can see the line forming now. All right, that's it for the Umbrella Corporation. Please give it up for George and the rest of the Umbrella Corporation. And up against Umbrella Corporation, their mortal enemies, the Smash Bros. First up, Sebastian D. Chow has logged over 10,000 hours in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which airs Thursdays at 8, 7 Central. Please check our back catalog for that callback. And he's still bad at it. He maintains that video games do indeed cause violence by making him into a nerd that people want to beat up. Sebastian, are video games a good way to spend your time?
No.
Just honesty. All right.
Probably not that
Incorrect.
good. I don't know, spending time playing video games is like spending money by dropping it down a storm drain.
Well, at least the raccoons get something out of that. All right. Give it up for Sebastian D. Chow, everybody. Next bro among the Smashers, Will Noye is a Toronto-based comedian and podcaster who's recently partnered with EA, so you'll need to pay $29.99 for the season pass if you want to unlock the full bio. Will, is there anything you think will give you and your team a competitive edge tonight?
Ooh, yeah, of course. Intensity, integrity, and giant fucking balls. We're gonna kill him. They're done.
I can see the outline. He's not lying. We're lucky
really-
this is a podcast.
I was really expecting you to say a Game Shark.
All right, please
How
give
do
it
you
up.
think the balls got so big?
Oh, no.
It's the best cheat code there is, baby.
Second best, surely.
I'll be honest, mine are more long than big, but still.
Excellent.
Simon Rakoff, the longest balls in the West.
You're
All
not
right.
supposed
Longer
to use a
than
Canonic
Titleist.
code on your balls, Simon.
Thank you, everyone. Please give it up for Will Noye.
Yeah.
And Lastly, among the Smash Bros, born in an analog age, Simon Rakoff was already a teen when Pong came out, but he was quickly able to amass a small fortune by becoming the left paddle's talent agent. He went on to represent both Zangief from Street Fighter and Kratos from God of War, taking home a cool 10% of the broken body parts left in their wake. Simon, do you play any new games, or are you strictly old school?
Oh, I often turn off my Sega Genesis to turn on my PS2.
Oh, excellent.
Oh no, I'm up to date with the original Spider-Man game and Medal of Honor.
Very good.
So,
Very good. Simon Rakoff, everybody, long in the tooth and the balls.
Nice. And you can cut this if you want, but I just want to point out perfect pronunciation of Japanese languages, and yet you called him Kratos?
seriously, man. Learn Greek.
Kratos, God of War.
Kratos. Sorry, I'm pronouncing it correctly as for the Greek.
You like Greek, don't you?
And also, I do.
I'm sorry, guys. I think I just lost us.
And
the game.
also, kratom, the substance. All right. That's it. We've met our contestants, so we're going to move on to the next section of the show, which is called What the Hell Is This? In What the Hell Is This? We show our contestants a series of weird and wonderful images, and we ask them the eternal question, what the hell is this? All right, are you guys ready for your first weird and wonderful image?
No, I'd like a few minutes.
You'd like a few minutes?
All right, go ahead.
The prostate's acting up? All right, let's go. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? George.
That's me and the boys after we get our 4th booster.
Well boosted. Ross.
That's me on a date that is going surprisingly well.
Which, are you the shark or are you Wario?
Take your pick.
Yeah. Sebastian.
Extremely fresh sashimi.
Yeah. TK.
My first kiss with Ross.
Oh, that's kind of sweet, actually.
Our date went extremely well. What can I say?
Yeah, that's nice.
Which one's the shark?
Take your pick.
I think we're going to have to see who has pointier teeth, honestly. Will.
Holy shit, they've really ramped up the production values on The Masked Singer.
Sebastian.
Wait, I thought you were going to pull your cock out.
All right. So this is a real promotional screenshot from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, released in 2018. So I don't know where the shark actually appears in that game because I haven't played it. Because I don't think it's a real fighting game. And also, I'm bad at fighting games.
Sebastian logged 10,000 hours.
He did.
Surely he knows.
The shark is actually the main character.
He is the titular Smash brother.
Ah, interesting. All right, we're going to move on to the next image. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? DK.
Screenshot of this podcast. This is what we look like right now.
It does.
The guy on the left is actually Simon Rakoff.
It does look suspiciously like him. Simon.
This pussy grabs back.
George.
The real Simon Rakoff is actually much more pixely.
Look, even at the bottom, it has Simon's health bar at 62%.
Okay, it's time to fuck off Simon Rakoff now.
This is actually a first-person view of a very stressful hunting trip that I took with my dad, Simon Rakoff. My dad, who is Simon Rakoff, by the way.
Those indoor hunting trips are really the most stressful.
That's why it was stressful.
Yeah. Sebastian.
I don't know who owns this cabin, but they really, really love Simon Rakoff. He's got 4 portraits up.
It is kind of haunting that it's just one guy.
This is, in fact, the log cabin in which Abe Lincoln was born, and this is what it inspired him to grow the beard. Yes, Will.
This is the worst orgy ever. There's one furry. We can't even have a cuddle puddle. What the fuck?
But you
But
always,
hey, 2
Simon,
keys.
you were supposed to do better than this, man. You lived in the 70s.
you always need at least one bear
Yeah,
at
but it
an
looks like
orgy.
he scored 878,100 times.
That
All with the same cat.
no. All right. Any other answers before I? All right. Thank you. So this is a screenshot from Super 3D Noah's Ark, a Christian video game that was developed by Christian video game developer Wisdom Tree for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. The game was officially licensed. It was an officially licensed ID Software Wolfenstein 3D engine title, but it was not licensed by Nintendo, so it was only sold in Christian bookstores instead of in typical video game retailers.
I'm impressed that Christian Slater made this.
So they took the most notorious first-person shooter featuring Nazi iconography and turned it into a Christian game for children.
Yes.
They made it slightly more evil.
Exactly.
So is the one on the left God, or is that the one on the right?
The one on the right is God. Yes. The one on the left is Simon Rakoff.
Well, clearly the reason we don't know what the one on the right is there's only one of them, and if I know anything, Noah's pulling pairs, so he's just killing
Right.
whoever's single, right?
I mean, there is both 1 and 3 of them at the same time, unless you're a heretic, but...
Did you have to say pulling? It took us right back to the orgy talk.
All right. Thank you, guys. We're going to move on.
Education's over. It's filth now.
We're going to move on to the next weird and wonderful image. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this?
You see?
George.
That's me and the boys after we get our 5th booster.
Yeah.
I think that's Dan's Tuesday night.
Yeah.
This is the crowd at the orgy on the Ark.
It does still include a bear, so... George.
That actually is just a photo of my family getting together for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm glad that you can all still get together.
Family looks good.
It's the Korean village people.
Will?
This is the future the liberals want.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Especially Top Hat and Rose in the Teeth man with the Snidely Whiplash mustache.
Come on, that is a look.
That is a look.
That's how I look all the time. With all my clothes on?
Yeah,
Like
take
every
your
one
shirt
of those
off.
characters.
We'll find out.
I'll look like the bear.
Yeah. All right, anyone else? Yes, Sebastian.
That is one bear that is secure in its self-image.
Yes.
I beg to differ. He's the only one wearing full underwear instead of like a banana hammock.
I think that is as close to a banana hammock you can get if you're a bear, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't know what he's packing.
Man, you really fucking hate the whites, don't you?
You guys look at this and I see equality because every peck on that screen is jiggling equally.
That's true. Except for the bears.
It's just hidden by the fur.
It's just hidden by the fur? All right.
Is the guy on the end overheating? Like, I don't understand why he's the only one spewing steam out of his nostrils.
That's not steam. He just had to have everyone else's cum, and it's coming out of the nose.
Oh, God.
He's overflowing.
He's the party bottom and he's sneezing. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Well, we're back to the educational component of the show.
Don't you hate it when you laugh and milk comes out your nose? All right, thanks everybody. So this is an ad. No, actually, I think it's a shot of a cutscene from Muscle March from 2009. This is an action video game for the Wii through the WiiWare service, in which players control one of 7 different bodybuilders and try to catch a thief. That's what that reads up at the top in Japanese. Dorobo is a thief. A thief who has stolen their bodybuilding friend's tub of protein powder. And so the gameplay works like Hole in the Wall, where you use the Wiimote and the nunchuck to perform different bodybuilder poses, so you can pass through correspondingly shaped holes in the walls as you're on your chase.
Well, at least the premise is relatable.
Yeah, definitely.
It's totally relatable. Going through a hole to achieve glory. A glory
Yes.
hole, if you would.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you,
That
everyone.
one was just for Simon.
Are they going to the hole or coming?
Well, both if they play their cards right.
All right, we're going to move on to the next image. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this?
Oh, Jesus.
That's what happens to your forehead after you like hog all the shrimp cocktail at a party.
George?
Look, it would be easy to sit here and mock Doug Ford's physical appearance. So let's do that.
Yeah,
He looks like that fish.
it's a great way to fill time. Ross?
I think that's my dad.
Oh, no.
I think that's Ross's dad.
He always hogs all the shrimp cocktail at parties. It's terrible. Sebastian?
I actually, I know that that's Ross's dad.
You could tell from the look of disappointment in his eyes.
Simon?
This is why you don't buy tuna whole. You just get it in a can.
Didn't we establish that Ross's dad is Simon Rakoff?
You guys got to stop obsessing over me.
Yeah.
Never.
It's hard. It's hard.
I know you're
It
my
took years
own
of
teammate,
therapy.
but just one more, okay? Simon Rakoff is so old.
How old is he?
He's actually experienced evolution firsthand.
Excellent. I like that he is now the poster child for both evolution and Noah's Ark. I think that's really helpful.
He was Homo sapiens when that was considered a slur.
All right.
Hey, air breather, they used to say.
Can't say anything anymore.
Thank you, everyone. So this is... This is from a game called Seaman, with an A,
Okay.
from 1999 for the Sega Dreamcast. It is a virtual pet raising game that
Oh my God, I remember this game.
used the microphone attachment. So you raise this new unknown species, which gradually grow human faces and ask you questions, which you can then respond to. It has been called dark, surreal, bizarre, and unsettling, and it was narrated by Leonard Nimoy. The face itself is based on the game designer Yuji Saito, just in case. So
Can I ask the quizmaster a question?
you can.
Why?
Why?
Why would they do this?
Why not?
I know. That's what happened when a fish got into the orgy on Noah's Ark. That was born.
And we finally wrapped up Simon's whole arc. Pun intended.
I think the first question it would ask is, why don't you kill me?
Because we need you to control the smaller fish in the aquarium. Otherwise, they'll keep breeding and disrupt the whole ecosystem. All right. Oh, we already did the answer, so we're gonna move on to the next weird and wonderful image. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? Yes, Sebastian.
A thirst trap for bees?
What are they thirsty for? Nectar? Yeah. Go ahead, Ross.
I was going to say, this is a date of mine that went very poorly.
Oh.
See, she left with like 6 other guys.
Oh, no.
This is what you see on onlyplants.com.
Very good. George.
I don't care what it is. I think I'm turning vegetarian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will.
This is the work of the dastardly botanist, engineer, Dr. Fuck-a-Plant.
He's the cousin of Dr. Fuck-a-Fish, which is how we got the last image. Simon.
This is what AI draws when you say milkweed.
That's very good.
But that was actually a misspelling. I meant to type milfweed.
And it knew somehow. Sebastian.
This is actually what's wrong with the unrealistic body standards expected of women in the modern age. You can't expect every woman to have roots and chlorophyll. It's just not realistic.
So
Yes, we know you're a feminist.
I think it's unfair to expect them not to have roots. How often do they have to go to the fucking hairdresser, Sebastian? All right. So this is a sunflower from Conker's Bad Fur Day, and she is apparently responsible for stealing Mr. B away from his wife, the Queen Bee, who probably doesn't have a rack like that. I'm guessing. All right. But who does? All right, we're going to move on to our last weird and wonderful image. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? Yes, George.
Just normal.
Yeah. Sebastian?
When did you hack my phone? Those are private.
That was leaked to 4chan, unfortunately, so...
I feel like this is where you learn how to do TikTok dances, Sebastian.
This is a trial run.
You mean where I teach people how to do TikTok dances?
This is exactly the kind of TikTok dance that will get 2.5 million views. As long as you're not that guy. Ross.
This is actually footage from my thesis project for my theater degree. Strangely enough, we got an A.
Yeah.
This is from the game Dance Dance Boxer Rebellion.
That's very good. Sebastian.
He actually borrowed those underpants from the polar bear.
Yes. I like how modest they are, really. For being tidy whities, they cover a lot of...
That man is anything but modest.
DK first.
I think those are shorts that girls wear here.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is
Simon.
the extended cut of Fei Long's victory dance.
That's what we call a callback.
Sebastian.
This is your brain on Molly.
It is kind of hypnotizing. Like,
It is.
It's been
I
running
can't
in a
stop
loop
looking,
for a
yeah.
while, and
Perfect loop.
Yeah. No, I was very impressed by this gift. All right. Thanks, everybody. So this is the character Mr. Libido, who is a befriendable NPC in the game Yakuza 0, which came out in 2015. It's a prequel. Yakuza is an open-world action-adventure series which takes place in Kamurocho, which is a fictionalized version of Tokyo's Kabukicho and Osaka's Dotonbori entertainment districts. And you get to be mostly a gangster, but there's a lot of mini-games and other things. Yakuza is a lot of fun. All right, and that is it for What the Hell Is This? Thank you very much to our panelists.
The whole crowd loved it.
And we're going to move on to the next section of the game, which is another pop quiz. First question. The category is Plum Bobs and Doom Tricks. In the popular life simulation franchise The Sims, many players enjoy using their godlike powers to wreak havoc and destruction in the lives of their unfortunate digital charges. According to polls, what is the most popular form of sim torture? George.
Just playing The Sims.
Simon.
Turning on free will, setting out some fruit, and telling them not to eat it.
Whoa. At least they put some clothes on. Yes, Ross.
Trapping them in a demeaning 9-to-5 job, after which they'll return home to an eerie pocket dimension, removed from the rest of the world, only to wake up and go back to the same soul-crushing grind day after day after day, until one day they die.
Ross, I mean in the game. In the game.
Oh, I'm sorry. In that case, it's trapping them in a windowless, doorless box with no hope of escape.
I'm still not convinced you're talking about the game.
Oh.
Yeah. DK.
Is it forcing them to do podcasts?
There was such hollowness in that laughter. It was delicious. Delicious. Sebastian.
Adjusting the in-game rent prices to Toronto difficulty.
Oh no. Simon.
Shortening their arms so they can't reach their dicks.
Oh no.
Lengthening their dicks so that it goes way past their arms.
That's frightening, but I don't know if it's torture.
It is for someone.
Yeah, it will be for someone. DK.
How about making a sim of Sebastian and then forcing it to play Smash Bros for $10,000?
It would just do that dance that we saw earlier.
I actually do have a Sebastian in my ongoing game of The Sims, and that is what I do. I force him to do that dance in his underwear all the time. All right, thank you guys. I guess we'll end with that. So the correct answer is actually making them watch a Twitch stream of someone building a house in The Sims, but actually removing the ladder from the pool, setting them into the pool, and not letting them get back out because they can't climb 3 inches. Video games. All right. The next question, the category is Nihongo no tango mo ikkai. The Atari 2600, introduced in 1977, is widely credited with popularizing home console gaming among the general public. What does the word Atari actually mean? Simon.
The fucking controller is broken.
DK.
I believe it's Japanese for unemployed slacker.
Yeah. Well,
It means back problems and a fucking mortgage if you're old enough to have played the thing.
yeah, thank goodness future generations were spared the pitfall of owning property.
And also
And
the pitfall of
yeah.
owning Pitfall, yeah.
Ross.
I believe it translates to one day we'll reminisce about this on Stranger Things.
Yeah. George.
It actually is Japanese for Atari, which means Atari.
The video game system. Will.
It means fuck it, put some wood on it. If you've actually seen the Atari,
Yes.
it actually has wood paneling.
It's not real wood, though, is it?
Like most things of that era, though.
Yeah, you know.
First Apple computer was made of wood.
Put on cars, too.
There was a...
That's what we want, made out of wood, our cars.
Yeah. There was an Austrian art collective. I can't remember the name of them, but they made... they had a lot of projects surrounding this fictional communist entity that survived the collapse of the Soviet Union called Soviet Unterziegersdorf. And one of the things was a point-and-click adventure game where you go around and do various things. But they did actually have a coal-powered computer in that game that you have to put together, which was very, very amusing.
I wonder why it didn't catch on. It was such a catchy name.
Soviet Unterziegersdorf? Yeah.
Hey, man, of
Definitely.
all the places we could have ended up after talking about an Austrian social group, I'm glad that this is where we arrived.
Okay. So the word actually means hit or impact, including hitting a target or guessing something correctly. Yeah, there you go.
How much less fun?
Yeah, it is a little bit less fun. All right, moving on to the next question. The category is Village People. What is the earliest known video game to feature gay characters? Ross.
Space Invaders. One of them must have been gay, just statistically.
Yeah, statistically. It's the last one, actually. You can tell because he's so much better at going down. George.
I've played gay games at like 6 a.m. That's got to be some kind of record.
Only if you're not still playing them at 6 a.m. Sebastian.
Super Mario Step Brothers. Help me, Mario. I'm stuck in the pipe.
Sorry, but nobody has more top energy than Luigi.
Is that a mushroom in your pocket?
Simon.
Donkey Dong, obviously.
Donkey Dong. DK.
When I was in school, they made me play the Sesame Street game featuring Ernie.
Oh,
Yeah.
More like Sesame Street.
very good. All right, so the correct answer is a game called Caper in the Castro from 1989. It was a graphical adventure game made on HyperCard for the Macintosh, and it's a kidnapping/murder mystery that takes place in San Francisco's Castro. The main character is a famous lesbian detective whose name I probably can't say now, so you listening at home can look it up. And she's investigating the disappearance of her friend, drag queen Tessie LaFemme. And it was distributed on BBS servers, and instead of selling it, they asked people to donate to AIDS charities, because it was 1989. I tried playing it. It is It is very much an adventure game from 1989. It does not make any sense and is very difficult to accomplish anything. All right, so we're going to move on to the next question. The category is Canadian content. The year 2012 saw considerable controversy in the gaming press over the use of the term girlfriend mode to refer to what? George.
Pinterest.
Mode not meaning style. Ross.
Girlfriend mode refers to sitting on your hand until it falls asleep so it feels like you aren't playing video games alone.
Will.
Finding someone to microwave your Hot Pockets aside from your mother.
Oh. DK.
Ramping up the difficulty of the game until you start complaining incessantly.
Sebastian.
It refers to turning the game off
Oh.
and going outside.
Are you sure you're not confusing girlfriend mode with mom mode?
It's kind of like get a girlfriend mode. Hey.
We don't know. It could be girlfriend and mom, the same thing for Sebastian.
Stop writing fan fiction about me.
I'm just saying, I've seen several 7 to 15-minute films with that exact plot.
Yeah. And a surprisingly large collection of stories on Archive of Our Own featuring Sebastian D. Chow, all written by me.
They're about
Using
the-
your Sims character for reference.
They're not about me, they're about the Sims character, guys.
All right. So the correct answer is, of course, when you're playing Smash with your bro, and you're both a little buzzed and pent up, and what the hell, who's gonna know? So you say, hey, bro, no homo. But if you're feeling it, I'd be down to smash with you in girlfriend mode for a little bit. Okay.
I don't know what that means.
No, it was an easier co-op mode for less skilled players. Insulting toward female gamers. All right, moving on to the next question. The category is playing with yourself, running theme for many of you. The popular PC game Solitaire was bundled with Windows 95 in order to teach people what? George.
Solitaire was to teach people that life is meaningless and we're all just killing time.
Sebastian.
It teaches us how to slack off at work
Yeah, people did need instructions back in the...
and what to do in computer labs in school.
Yeah.
You didn't have Math Circus?
Is that on Cool Math? Coolmath.com?
No, it wasn't.
You didn't have a Mickey's Space Adventure where you visit all 9 planets. Thank you very fucking much. Ross?
Solitaire was designed to teach you the least effective method of putting away a deck of cards. Because as soon as you do, they just pop all over the screen everywhere.
Yeah. That's as close as you could get to seeing a cum shot on your computer before there was broadband internet.
Oh, and it worked.
Yeah, it did. Simon?
It was designed to get you into the idea that when you use a computer all the time, you will always be alone.
Yeah. DK?
It was designed to teach you, if you were a kid, that your parents can afford a good computer that had the pinball game preloaded.
All right. So the correct answer is it was there to teach people how to play Minesweeper. No, it was how to use a mouse. How to use a mouse. Sebastian.
I actually secretly thought it was to teach people not to install Windows Vista.
Oh. All right. Moving on to the next question. The category is MMO money, MMO problems. EverQuest was one of the first and most influential graphical MMORPGs, massively multiplayer online RPGs, and it also had an in-game command that would have what delivered to your house? Sebastian.
A copy of World of Warcraft.
George.
Boring virgin supplies.
What is a boring virgin supply? Yes, Ross.
A single sock.
Oh, I guess that is a boring virgin supply. DK.
The Pinkertons. If you ganked me in game, I'd gank you in real life. Nobody got that. That was just for me, guys. That was just for me.
The Pinkertons, like the predecessor of the FBI in 1912?
Yeah, those like mercenary goons. If you stole my shit, I would swat you.
All
Just
right,
like
yeah.
Nintendo did.
Yeah, pretty much. Or Hasbro last
week.
Excellent. Will.
A waifu body pillow.
That is also the same answer, I think. Boring virgin supplies. Sebastian.
It would have delivered to your house no women.
And you needed a command to continue that. Otherwise, the women would start showing up. And eventually, it's like the birds. They start mobbing you.
It's more of a just-in-case scenario.
Okay. Keep them away.
For a second, I thought that meant that there was a command that would take the women out of your house, which is just a kidnapping, which is no good.
If you continue playing without stopping long enough, I think it'll happen.
But why would your mom leave?
It's her house.
It is her house. All right. The real answer is, of course, a SWAT team. Because we love playing online games now. It was pizza. It was a promotion.
Wait, so I got that right? Do I get actual points for this shit?
Sure, you get 50 points.
Cool. Can I use those to go to the bathroom?
No.
Oh.
You can redeem them
But
for
yes,
one
if you really
in-game
need to.
pizza.
The show eventually.
You can redeem them for an empty Monster Energy can.
Will it be delivered to my house through the in-game command?
Yes. All right. Thanks, guys. The next question, the category is Apocalypse Meow. In the recent indie hit Stray, the player takes on the role of a feral cat in the post-apocalyptic world in order to do what?
Ooh.
Will.
Mostly nap.
Yeah. I think there is a nap button.
Definitely.
DK?
Enslave humanity.
Yes. Simon?
Beg desperately for food, even though you just ate an entire bowl.
Yes, and then vomit it all up because you ate too much fucking food. George?
Eat lasagna.
Ah, classic. Ross?
Ask someone to pet you, but then when they do, you get real mad about it.
Yeah, you do. Sebastian?
Clearly, we play in order to temporarily escape the hellish nightmare of the modern society by vicariously exploring a bleakly dystopian yet paradoxically also alluring and romanticized future in which it has collapsed. Oh, sorry, I meant to say play with yarn?
Yes. Congratulations.
Simon just temporarily possessed by the spirit of Werner Herzog. Right there. The extended futility.
I like the way you just swung the microphone into his face.
And also called
After
him
calling
Simon.
me
And
Simon.
also called him Simon. Yeah, you guys do look alike.
We get that a lot.
Yeah. You were the pair on Noah's Ark.
That's right.
Yes, DK.
It would do every command that you did not push on the controller.
Oh. Anyone else? Yes.
Get way more famous than any of your friends on TikTok.
Definitely. Sebastian.
In order to swat at moving objects on the screen like they're real?
This is just a Fruit Ninja mini game. Yes, Simon.
Sit on the keyboard and prevent you from playing.
Yeah. DK?
There actually is no game. You're supposed to play with the box.
Yeah. Or just sit in it. All right. Thank you, guys. So the real answer is that you get to free some cute robots from their sealed city so that they can experience the outside world.
If you
Classic cat stuff.
unseal it, is it both dead and alive?
Well, they're all robots, so kind of.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. That's been it for the second pop quiz. Give everybody a hand. All right, so we're going to move on to the next section of our game, which is called Not Bloody Likely. In Not Bloody Likely, we give our panelists a series of unlikely scenarios, and they give us an idea of what might happen. All right, are you guys ready for your first unlikely scenario? Simulations no one asked for.
Podcast simulator. This is.
Yeah.
All right, fire up those Oculus Rifts. It's time to play The Night You Were Conceived.
Oh, no.
Now with a special first-person perspective.
Crazy guy on the TTC.
I would play that one. I do.
It depends on who the player character is, I think. Then you just have to navigate the mental health system in Ontario.
The Sims.
Wait, so like The Sims, but you play as the Sim? Is that it? Like you are the guy?
Yeah, that thing.
That's what we're doing now.
Let me out of the pool.
Swiss Chalet rotisserie chicken.
Oh, there's a whole subculture of people who make like very realistic Roblox areas that you can just investigate, and I would kind of like to see one with a nice, juicy rotisserie chicken in it. I think that would be really nice.
Well, you're the problem with video games.
I guess so. All right, thanks guys. We're gonna move on to the next unlikely scenario: real life problem. Video game solution.
Real life problem, video game solution that's just shooting people, right? That's bad.
Yeah. America Simulator Pro.
Okay, guys. Once again, I don't know why you invited me to this hostage negotiation. I'm just a plumber, okay? I don't know what I'm doing here.
Jesus, crossing the gardener's impossible. But now Frogger helps me through.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have this crazy open wound on my shoulder. Better smoke some green herb.
I think you eat it, don't you?
It comes in a paper, bro.
It's true, it does.
I wish I had a job. I'll just play The Sims and get one in the game.
If only it were that easy.
I'm getting really tired of my roommate. I guess I'll just take the ladder out of the pool.
Man, I can't figure out how to open this door. Better leave the mansion, go to the sewers, look for 3 different colored highlight cones, find a frog, and then jump on a seesaw to find the key.
I mean, it's a good alternative to those fake rocks.
Lost my wallet. I'll wander the forest for 30 years until I find it.
I wish I was more TikTok famous. I'll just do all the dances from Yakuza.
I think you only need to do the one, as long as it catches on. All right, thanks, guys. We're going to move on to the next unlikely situation. Finishers that didn't make it. These are finishing moves from a combat fighting game. That's what we call it.
I think we should see other people.
Noogies.
I'd like to see that in Mortal Kombat, like a noogie that was so hard it went through somebody's skull, and then you pull the brain out at the end, like who pulls out the heart in Mortal Kombat?
Scorpion?
I think Kano. That's right.
Making them eat Dan's sugar fish Portuguese recipe.
It's time for the super secret move nobody expects. Unplanned pregnancy.
It's like the Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expects it, but it always seems to show up somehow.
Deadly peanut allergy.
Oh no.
Making them do a podcast.
Oh no.
Stop bullying Dan.
That's okay. Better me than Simon.
Final attack. You're canceled on Twitter.
All right. At least that gets you a New York Times column. All right. Moving on to the next unlikely situation. Pitches for rejected Smash Bros. Characters.
A shark that likes to kiss Wario.
Chair girl.
She has one move, but it's really good. 250% immediately.
I can't believe they got Sonic in the game, but they're leaving that hideous thing from Seaman on the table.
Magic mushrooms. They just want to get along, man.
A professional Smash Brothers player who is not a pedophile.
Yeah. That is surprisingly common. Maybe not surprisingly common. I mean, now that they...
PS2, man.
Stay there.
I guess the kind of people who become like professional Smash Bros. Players now are the people who used to go into the priesthood. But yeah, there was a joke in there, but I guess there wasn't.
I think it's just true.
There was something about items dropping. Who knows? All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. We're going to move on to the next unlikely situation. Improbable additions to famous franchises.
Pack they.
The new Madden 2023 Traumatic Injuries DLC lets you manage a lifetime of horrific brain injuries and the medical debt that ensues.
Excellent.
Nintendogs, now with rabies.
Super Mario Brothers, but Peach sends a text home saying that she's all right. She'll be home by like 10.
Mortal Kombat Coroner.
What happened to this guy?
It's every day at this job.
Why is there just frozen dust everywhere?
EA releases esports 24.
FIFA, but they have to play around the dead bodies of all the people used to make the textures in the game.
Ah, excellent.
Minecraft, now with round edges.
Ooh.
LGBT Cubert.
Excellent. The tube mouth. All right, we're going to call it with that one. Moving on to the next unlikely situation. Dr. Mario, professional therapist. Video game characters in therapy.
I'm sorry I have to end this session a little early. I've been made Pierre Poilievre's science advisor.
Darren, I think we've discovered the problem in the pattern of relationships that you've been having. It's a you.
Take 3 of these antidepressants, but only the yellow sides, and make sure they touch.
And take your OCD meds so you don't have to do that.
Have you ever thought about being less boo-hoo and more wahoo?
So let's get into the root of the problems that occurred when you were just a baby Mario.
All right, thank you guys. That's it for Not Bloody Likely. Give me your panel's hand. We're going to move on to the last section of our game, which is called Debate Club. In Debate Club, our panelists debate important issues of the day, and you, the audience, get to decide who wins. Our first debate, debating the proposition, video games can teach you real-life skills. Arguing in favor is Ross Hammond, and arguing against is Sebastian D. Chow. Ross, you have 60 seconds. Starting now.
I think that it's obvious that not only can video games teach you real-life skills, but they are also incredibly educational. Let me just name a few of the greats. Math Blaster Jr. on Windows 98. That taught me my multiplication tables. Math Circus, found on literally every school computer in the 90s and aughts, is still the most popular way to waste time in a public school library. Oregon Trail, sure, you didn't know how to stop dysentery, but you knew you didn't want it. And that's a hell of a lesson to learn in the first place. And of course, Minesweeper for teaching socially inept people that it's okay to stay at your computer. You freak the rest of the office out, Gerald. Just eat your lunch in your cubicle. So sure, these might not be fun games, but there's no arguing that they are definitely educational and teach you things.
Yeah, all right, excellent. Thank you, Ross. Arguing against the proposition that video games can teach you real-life skills is Sebastian Chow. Sebastian, you have 60 seconds, starting now.
I am not a man of many skills. I am a man who's played a lot of video games. And fighting games, let me tell you, do not teach you how to fight. DDR does not teach you how to dance. And the only thing that Mario games teach you is how to kill turtles. It does teach you how to kill turtles. Is that what you want the kids learning? How to step on the head of a turtle or cut the bridge down so that it falls? These are not practical skills, guys. Do you think you can utilize this in a practical fashion? You've learned nothing except how to waste your time and money. Yes, that's it.
All right, thank you, Sebastian. Ross, you have 30 seconds to respond, starting now.
Okay, we're not here arguing the ethics of if these skills are good. We're arguing on if they are skills learned. And I think that, yeah, stomping on turtles, that's a niche skill. At least someone has it. You know what else? You know what else Mario taught us? How to type. Who here knows how to type? Thank you, Mario. That's basically all I have to say in response to that.
Thank you, Mavis Beacon. Thank you very much.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, Ross. Sebastian, you have the last word. 30 seconds starting now.
Ross claims that math games can teach you math. I don't need that much help with like 2 + 2 = 4. That's what the kind of math games you find on those websites. What I need a math game for is like Integral Calculus 2. There's no game for that. The game is how many times do you have to take this and waste your parents' money in university. You don't learn things with games. Gamification is a tech bro buzzword. It's fake. It's a grift.
All right. Thank you, Sebastian. All right. And now you, the audience, get to decide who wins this debate. Do you agree with Ross Hammond that video games can teach you real-life skills? Or do you agree with Sebastian Chow that they cannot teach you real-life skills? All right, Ross wins. That's 1 point for Umbrella Corporation. In our next debate, arguing the proposition there can never be a good video game movie. Arguing against the possibility of good video game movies is DK Phan. Arguing in favor of the possibility of video game movies is Will Noye. We love double negatives on this show. You can't not do it. All right, DK, you have 60 seconds.
I don't love double negatives. I thought I was on the other side of this argument.
Oh, no.
It's okay, because there can't be a good video game movie. There's no storyline in video games, right? Do you know the storyline of fucking Pong? It's 2 anorexics playing tennis. That's it, right? A game of Pong shouldn't even last that long. They would just lose energy after, like, the first hit and then, like, fall over and die, you know? Right? And it's just generic characters. It's just 2 white anorexics trying to hit a ball back and forth over a net, you know? There's no storyline. Give me a video game with a storyline, and I'll poke all the plot holes in it. Right? Even the Tetris movie, like that Tetris thing that came out on Apple TV, it's not even about Tetris.
There's
it's
a
about how it
Tetris
got
thing on
made.
Apple TV?
Yeah. There is a Tetris movie on Apple TV. It's not even about Tetris. There is no storyline in Tetris, right? It's about like a block that comes down, and then it tells this children's block that like it's gonna, come back. It's just going out for a cigarette, and then it disappears forever, right? Like that's just my childhood, okay? There's no storylines in video games. Okay? Will, all right? Can you handle that? Are you on board with this point? All right, I'm getting honked off.
All right, thank you, DK. That was...
I've been served.
I will say that the storyline of Tetris is actually the time those Chilean miners got trapped underground. Oh no! They had to line up all the rocks so they would disappear. Yeah.
The story of Tetris is that a group of individuals can come together and be better than they are on their own.
Oh.
Communism, baby.
Remember the time that
better place, man, to live. They got out. No, sorry.
No, go ahead. You're on the clock.
Oh, I'm on the clock. Oh, damn. Okay. So DK is talking about Pong. If only there had been, 50 years worth of better games that we could draw from. Like, I got no idea. Has there been a lot of horrible video game movies? Absolutely. Are they awesome in their shittiness? You fucking bet. If you don't believe me, smoke a half quarter, eat some shrooms, and watch the original Doom movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You are not ready. Is it anything like the game? No. Is it a fucking good time? Not really. Is it a good way to kill 93 minutes? You betcha. And video games have come so far now that pretty much every movie is a video game movie because they're using fucking CGI for 85% of it anyway. It's all pixels, not people. And just to really drive the point home, what's the most popular movie in cinemas currently? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the fucking Mario Brothers movie? I'm sorry, DK. I love you for a lot of reasons, but I hate you on this one. You're just wrong. That's my time.
All right, very good. Thank you. Well, DK, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Mario Brothers movie, eh? It's not that video game movies have gotten better. It's just our standards have gotten worse. Do you see the kind of shit that's on TV now? We live in a generation where people watch the fucking Kardashians or Love is Blind. The standard for good television has gone down. If you compare the OG Mario movie to the shit that people watch now, that OG Mario movie would actually still be good. If you think about it, it's just we watch trash. That's why... That's why the Mario Brothers movie is doing okay. What are your options? That or like fucking The Ultimatum, you know? Pick one.
All right, thank you, DK. Will you have the last word starting now?
Okay, all right, listen. The potential is there for great stories coming out of video games. We just haven't hit it yet. Is it possible? Yes. What we're gonna need is a lot of time, a lot of cocaine, and somebody to try to make a movie off of the fucking Yakuza games. That will just be the best movie you could ever fucking see. Not only that, throw it back and give us asteroids again. Just put somebody in a white jet shooting fucking rocks. You can watch that for 80 minutes, man. That's it. That's my time.
All right. Thank you, Will.
Video game. It's just 26 hours of cutscenes. It's basically a movie.
All right.
Haven't played anything else.
Can be good.
And so now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree with DK Phan that there can never be a good video game movie? Or do you agree with Will Noye that there definitely could be a good video game movie? Even if it hasn't happened yet. All right, that's a point to Will and the Smash Bros. And you guys are tied in the debates. And in our final debate tonight, the proposition, violent video games make kids more prone to real-world violence. Arguing in favor is Simon Rakoff. Arguing against is George Burgess. Simon, you have 60 seconds starting right now.
Well, obviously they do. I mean, this is where kids learn to hurt. It's like every serial killer starts with animals. This is how real killers start, with video games. I mean, have you seen Mortal Kombat? They rip the spine out of a guy. Kids don't know that. They watch a video game, they go, oh, so that's how you do it. Until then, they're just like flailing with their little hands at each other. Once they watch those games, they're like, oh, wait a second. You dig the fingers in the eye sockets, reach down inside, pull the entire jawbone out. Now I've got skills. I mean, come on. Obviously, they're violent and horrible. I mean, in my day, you had sex with a hooker. You just gave her the money. Thanks to Grand Theft Auto. No, after you have sex with her, you run her over with the car, get the money back. I don't know what's wrong with this generation. You pay the whore. That's what I say.
All right. Thank you, Simon.
A better time, a simpler time.
Time with more whores.
There was never violence against sex workers before 1989.
Or serial killers.
No.
It was just choring and whoring and total safety.
All right.
Reporters or anything.
Arguing against the proposition that violent video games make kids more prone to real-world violence is George Burgess. George, you have 60 seconds starting now.
I never let my kid play violent video games. And my kid beat the shit out of me. So I think it's pretty clear that not playing those things makes her really violent. Video games don't teach kids that violence is a means towards their goals. Kids these days know that violence is its own reward. Now, you might read in the news that video games are bad. But if you believe the news, then you would also believe that Bush didn't do 9/11. When in fact, Bush did 9/11. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, George.
Concise.
Simon, you have 30 seconds to respond, starting now.
Have you ever seen a kid play video games? They're violent, even if it's a nice game.
Yeah.
I've seen my daughter smash 30 controllers in 1 hour because she's so angry. Video games are made for violence. I have to stand in front of the television and say, not the screen, just the controller. That's how bad violence is in video games.
All right, thank you, Simon. All those Mad Catz controllers down the drain. Okay, George, you have the last word. 30 seconds starting now.
A direct rebuttal is going to be difficult as I was not listening to anything that guy said. But I've played a lot of Mario Kart in my life, and I have never in real life thrown a blue shell at anyone. Ever, except a couple times. Bush did 9/11. Vote for me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, George.
I'd just like to say,
You are out of time.
no, this is not about the topic. I just want to say that I think George is the funniest comedian in the country.
Thank you very much.
No, in
I
the
say on
city,
behalf
there's a
of
lot of
George.
funny comedians. But out in the country,
Practically no one.
All right.
I would just like to say that jet fuel can't melt steel beams, but blue shells.
All right. Thank you, guys. All right. And now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree with Simon Rakoff that violent video games do make kids prone to real-world violence? Or do you agree with George Burgess that George Bush did 9/11? All right. George wins. That's another point for the Umbrella Corporation. And now I have the distinct privilege of deciding who wins this game overall. And what do you win? You'll find out after the show. I decide that I'm going to award.
Rob wins.
I think I'm going to give it to the Umbrella Corporation. Congratulations.
Our team has more careers.
All right. Thanks, everybody. This has been Comedy Game Showdown. I've been your host, Dan Donnelly, the Umbrella Corporation. We're Ross Hammond, DK Phan, George Burgess. The Smash Bros. We're Sebastian D. Chow, Will Noye, and Simon Rakoff. Our next episode, our Pride Spectacular, will be taking place in two places, June 15th, 10 p.m., right here at SoCap Comedy in Toronto, and then again June 17th at 6 p.m. at the Uncloseted Comedy Festival in Hamilton, Ontario. Follow us on Patreon, patreon.com/andascotchegg. It's also the cheapest way to get tickets for the show if you live in town. And follow us on social media. We're andascotchegg everywhere. And if you follow us, you'll find that we're going nowhere. All right, thanks, everybody, and have a good night.